Howdy, folks. Welcome back to another episode of RMP What's Sold. My name is Mo, and this is Reseller Niche. And on this channel, we're going to be talking about eBay and Amazon, how to thrift, how to find stuff that sells for profit online. Let's get right into it. So this is for the second and third week of July. I picked 10 items that sold, thrift store finds that sold for decent money. First of all, I have a vintage Playboy shirt. Playboy brand is semi-controversial, shall we say, and it always sells for good money, though. If you look up the shirts, you look up the other paraphernalia that goes with the brand, they always seem to do well. Hugh Hefner, Playboy, etc. Now, remember, you cannot sell Playboy magazines on eBay anymore, I believe, but this is a shirt. So this one sold for $120 out the door. That's including tax and shipping. Had it listed for a lot more than that, but I was happy to see this one go because I'm a little nervous that they may actually pull down every single item from this brand. So obviously, because the front of it's a little bit risque as well. So moving on, let's move on to the next one. Okay, next one is an interesting one. I don't really sell many trading cards, but this is a set of Desert Storm trading cards, complete first set, including stickers from 1991, made by Topps. And I've had this one for a while, well over a year. This one was an interesting find. It was in the bottom of the rack at a Goodwill. So this one sold for $45.95 out the door, and I was happy to see it go because I honestly didn't know if this one was going to sell or not. So if you see interesting sets of cards, even if they're complete, pick them up, especially if they're cheap. They always do well for me. I've sold all kinds of stuff, random movies, country music cards from the 80s or 90s, all that kind of stuff does well. All right, next up, this is just a basic tank top. The reason I'm highlighting this is because Hurley is a brand that's not really, it's not a super brand, but just the time of year makes it a great sale. $19.54 for a thrift store purchase. I'm happy with that all day long. And as you can see, it's a pretty plain shirt. All right, so next up, I have this is a Baywatch Barbie doll. It was sealed in the package. Package was a little beaten up, actually. But I was happy to see this one go pretty fast, actually. I only listed this, I want to say a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. It sold for $81.67 out the door. It was new in package. Well, I shouldn't say new in package. It was complete in package, in box, but pretty beaten up, like I said. But $81.67. Watch out for those sealed vintage Barbies and Kens, G.I. Joes, all that kind of stuff, because they go for good money. So don't overlook them. All right, next up is a brand that I sell very seldom now, only because thrift stores pick them up. Tommy Bahama. This is a Tommy Bahama embroidered kind of a Hawaiian rockabilly type shirt. Had a hula girl on it. It was pretty plain, actually. Other than the nice embroidery on it, the shirt was pretty plain. But it sold for $41.11. And I've had this one for over a year. But Tommy Bahama is one of those brands that thrift stores have picked up on, and they think it's worth the moon. I've seen their shirts listed, used shirts I'm talking about, 35, 45, 50 bucks, 60 bucks even. Just because of that brand, Tommy Bahama. So I'm not sure what they think they can sell it for, but if they can, more power to them. But I generally don't pick up this brand unless it's something a little bit out of the ordinary and it's cheap. So be careful when picking up this brand unless it's something very cool. All right, next up, the Euros, European soccer, European football tournament just ended a few weeks back. This was a kind of a semi-vintage, not vintage, Adidas jersey. This one sold for, what did it sell for? If I can find it, $15.89 out the door. It had a name on the back, somebody's last name. So that's part of the reason it was a little bit lower price. It wasn't in the best shape, but it's a vintage Bayern Munich jersey. Now, this is not a national team jersey, but it's a German soccer jersey. So soccer never stops. Football never stops. The season will start in a few weeks. So this is a type of thing that sells for me year round. I love picking up football jerseys if I can get them for cheap. All right, next up is a Nike running dry fit shirt. This sold for $28 out the door. Long sleeve shirts, I love picking them up, especially if they're dry fit. They have all kinds of different types. Obviously, I always talk about activewear, Under Armour, Nike, Reebok, all of this stuff, especially this time of year, does really well. Anything to do with running, like I always say, does extra well for me. And Nike obviously is a good brand, but there's sub categories within it, obviously. Nike running is one of them. And I always pick that up if I can get it for $2-3 or less. This sold for $28, so I'm very happy with that. All right, next up is another Nike shirt. Actually, this one I picked up just because it's, again, soccer related, football related. It's a U.S. men's dry fit sweatshirt. It's got the Phillips brand on the front there, and it's only a size medium, so not the best size, but it sold for $50, $54.79 to be exact. And I'm guessing also because not only are the Europeans in like the Gold Cup, or I believe it's the Gold Cup that's going on right now, but USAMT are playing, have been playing this summer. So like I said, it never stops, and soccer stuff does really well for me. So pick it up if you can, especially if it's got a nice little logo on this, and US stuff does really, really well for me, men's and women's. All right, so next one. This is a vintage t-shirt, semi-vintage, 2007, so not quite. But what I liked about this was the logo. It has this big kind of, I don't even know what this is, an eagle or a dragon on the front there. And it was from some convention. It was from, I guess, somebody that was working there on the staff would have worn this. It says Golden Empire Council shirt. So I'd never heard of it. It even had writing on the tag. But it's still, so I just thought it was a really, really cool logo. It sold for $20.01 out the door for a $1 purchase from Thrift. These kind of thrift store finds are my favorite. They do take a while. I'm guessing this is about an 18-month hold, but it's kind of fun for me to pick up this kind of stuff because it's basically one-off. I mean, so why not? So Brown Sea to Beal Scout Expo 2007 out the door for $20.01. I'm happy with that. And we're going to end this one here. I'm going to keep this video short. Another brand that is kind of coming back. I don't know. Maybe it's just because the shirt was nice. North Face, this is a vest, hiking running vest. And it was a nice little, not puffer, but kind of that puffer style, thinner vest, but great for this type of weather. Kind of, you can wear it in a warm weather or cold weather. $58 out the door. It was used. A nice 2XL size. So I'm happy with that. This was a $4.99 purchase, I believe. So North Face is a brand that, for me, has dropped recently, especially the basic t-shirts. So be careful, don't spend too much. I prefer to pick up the jackets, the vests, and nicer looking t-shirts. And by nicer looking, I mean the logos, the embroidery, the designs have to be better. Something that stands out to your eye. So if you can get that for under $3, pick it up. Anything more than that, I would be wary of and look up the comps. Always look up the sold comps anyways. But that is it for this week's video. It's just a short video, 10 thrift store finds that I found. And if you like these videos, please check out our other What Sold videos and other videos on Reseller Niche. And also, if you could hit the like, subscribe button, and hopefully the notification bell as well, so you can see when we put out next content, that would be extremely helpful. But until the next one, this is Mo signing off. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Reseller Niche Podcast. Show notes and social media links are located at resellerniche.com. Please comment, rate, and subscribe to us on iTunes or YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.